The Blood Angels are the 9th Space Marine Legion that was formed during the Great Crusade in the 30th millennium by the Emperor of Mankind. Their gene father, or Primarch, is Sanguinius, who is also known as the Great Angel. Sanguinius is perhaps one of the most interesting Primarchs in the 40k lore, and I'll touch on him briefly later, but no doubt he'll deserve a video of his own in time. Leading the chapter in the 41st millennium is one of the Imperium's brightest stars, Lord Commander Dante, who has held this position for 1,100 years. Dante is believed to be the oldest living Space Marine that is still loyal to the Emperor, as he is in fact over 1,500 Terran years old, only surpassed in age by the Astartes that have been entombed into a dreadnought shell. Baal is the nominal homeworld of the Blood Angels. The world is an unforgiving place inhabited by little more than feral animals and mutants. Despite this, the two moons orbiting the planet, Baal Prime and Baal Secundus, were once an Eden for life, supporting a notable amount of human settlements. Unfortunately, sometime in the past, probably in the Dark Age of technology or in the Age of Strife, a conflict arose on the moons. This ultimately led to the unleashing of viral and nuclear bombs, destroying the moon's ecosystem and racking them with radiation, leading them to now be little more than feral worlds. The inhabitants of Baal Prime and Baal Secundus have suffered greatly as a result of the cataclysmic wars that ravaged their planets. Now, they band together in semi-nomadic tribes struggling for survival. As opposed to the tribes of Fenris, the Space Wolves' homeworld, the tribes of Baal Prime and Secundus have maintained a degree of their technology, still employing rad suits and rad counters to at least mitigate some of their environmental horrors. Over time, many tribes devolved and turned to cannibalism, but at least one tribe did not. This tribe was known as the Ones of Pure Blood, often shortened to the Blood. It was the Blood tribe who encountered the infant Sanguinius when he first arrived on Baal Secundus, and they adopted him into their ranks. In return for their hospitality, Sanguinius soon became a hero for the people, saving them from attack by mutant tribes on at least one occasion. It is from these tribes of the Blood on Baal Prime and Secundus that Sanguinius would recruit his future Blood Angels. Once a generation, at a place known as Angel's Fall, youths from the tribes take part in games and tournaments designed to push them to the limits of their endurance. Those that fail are left to either return home to their tribe or to stay and guard the place of testing. Those that succeed are taken to the fortress monastery on Baal itself, where they will look upon the unmasked face of their future battle brothers for the first time. All the aspirants will then be led to the Great Chapel, where they will drink from the sanguinary chalice containing the blood of Sanguinius, brought to them by one of the Blood Angels' sanguinary priests. As a result of this ritual, the aspirants will fall into a deep sleep, which they will not wake from for a whole year. During this time, the chapter's gene seed will be implanted and the aspirants will be fed intravenously. This protracted process is to allow the aspirant's body time to heal from the ravages of radiation sickness that they all suffer from, but is also one final test. Many would-be Blood Angels die at this point, their body unable to take the strain of the changes it is undergoing, but those that survive will awaken as a Space Marine. As Space Marines, these new Blood Angels will have the honour of defeating the Emperor's foes in their own suit of power armour. The standard Marine's armour will be painted blood red with a black keel on its chest and a colour-coded helmet to designate the squad type to which they belong. It should be noted at this point that if the Blood Angel is gifted enough to possess psychic powers, they will become a librarian of the chapter and have their armour painted blue, with the left shoulder plate painted red. If a warrior proves that he is truly a member of the Blood Angels elite, he may be given the honour of becoming a member of the Sanguinary Guard. These warriors are the best of the Blood Angels and are essentially the honour guard of the chapter. When on the field of battle, they are hard to miss as they wear highly stylised golden artificer power armour, a golden death mask modelled on Sanguinius' own features, and a winged jump pack, making them truly appear to be angels of death. Unfortunately for the new inductees into the chapter, in the 41st millennium their lineage suffers from two major flaws, namely the Red Thirst and the Black Rage. Deep within every Blood Angel is a destructive yearning and hunger for blood that has to be repressed or else it will overwhelm the warrior. This is known as the Red Thirst. Warriors who succumb to the Red Thirst often have pale skin and have a potent urge to drink the blood of their enemies. Unfortunately for those around the warrior, the bloodlust can overtake him and can make it difficult at times to distinguish between friend and foe, and has led to genocidal slaughter of allies in the past. To understand the Black Rage, we must first understand a bit more about the Blood Angel's Primarch, Sanguinius. Sanguinius was an imposing figure, sporting two angelic wings which could only be described as pure white like a swan's. And he possessed a beauty that could only be rivalled by some of the other Primarchs or by the Emperor himself. He was steadfast and loyal to the Emperor, and was devastated to hear in the 30th millennium that his favourite brother, Horus, raised his banner in open rebellion against the Emperor. Despite being tempted by his brother, Sanguinius refused to turn his back on his father, and fought a bitter campaign against his errant brother. Sanguinius was a somewhat gifted psyker, with the ability of precognition, and saw that he would die at Horus's hand during the Battle of Terra. Despite this, he engaged the War Master on his flagship, and sacrificed his life, delaying Horus until the Emperor had time to reach him. The Emperor ultimately slew Horus, but it is said that he would have never been able to do so if it was not for the chink in the armour that Sanguinius had made during their battle. And it is for this reason that the Blood Angels claim Sanguinius to be the greatest of all Primarchs. Unfortunately for Sanguinius, Horus did not give him a quick death. In fact, he made it the most painful and prolonged death that he could offer, causing untold agony to the Primarch. The pain inflicted on Sanguinius was so total that it sent out a psychic shockwave that imprinted deep within the souls of anyone who carries his blood. The psychic echo of Sanguinius' sacrifice was so strong that it can still be heard by the Blood Angels to this day, and it causes a phenomena known as the Black Rage. Those who succumb to the Black Rage are reborn into a world of anger and fury. They are cursed to see visions of their Primarch's final hours, and to believe they are fighting in the Siege of Terra. In addition to this curse, they also receive a boon. Those who fall to the Black Rage are touched by a small portion of their Primarch's powers, and receive a huge increase to their strength and endurance, boosting their already superhuman powers. Once a Space Marine becomes afflicted with the Black Rage, they are locked away in the Tower of the Lost on Baal. Rather than continuing in their former role, they will join a specialised unit known as the Death Company. They wear specially painted black armour daubed with red crosses that symbolise the wounds of Sanguinius, and will be sent to perform the most dangerous assaults, hoping for a quick and honourable death. After all, these are still strong fighting men, and it is better for them to die as heroes than to be called on Baal. The Blood Angels have engaged in countless battles since their inception, and in turn countless heroes have risen and fallen. If a Marine is lucky, they may get the honour of fighting alongside some of the chapter's modern champions, such as Lord Commander Dante or Chief Librarian Mephiston. As stated earlier, Lord Commander Dante is the current chapter master of the Blood Angels, and he has held this position for over 1,100 years. In battle, Dante looks very similar to a standard member of the Sanguinary Guard, wearing golden artificer power armour and a golden death mask, but differs due to the fact that he elects to use a standard jump pack rather than a winged one, and he also wears an iron halo painted gold which he received as a mark of honour due to his exemplary service. Dante truly is a terror on the battlefield, using his experience, marksmanship and tactical knowledge to crush the Emperor's enemies. Despite his years, Dante is never one to shy away from a fight. In fact, he led the drop assault that finally broke the decade-long siege of Forge World Ironhelm in the year 901 of the 41st millennium. If Dante is the light of the Blood Angels chapter, Mephiston could very well be its darkness. Often referred to as the Lord of Death, Mephiston is one of the only two Space Marines to ever recover from the flaw of the Black Rage. Despite recovering his sanity, Mephiston has kept the increased strength that the Black Rage afforded him, not only physically, but also psychically. Due to his staggering psychic abilities and corpse-like appearance, Mephiston's battle brother, Lucius Antros, thought he, quote, looked like a terrible deity fallen from the heavens to mete out the Emperor's wrath. Mephiston can often single-handedly turn the tide of battle, such as on Divinatus Prime, where he was able to force hundreds of demons out of reality and back into the warp. If you'd like to know more about Dante or Mephiston, please click the link on the screen or in the description. And if you have any suggestions on how I can improve this video for future reference, please comment and let me know. Thanks for watching.